Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And now guys, we are still doing a 500 XRP giveaway, and all you have to do to enter is make sure you press the like button, make sure you are subscribed, and make sure you comment something down below, and your comment is going to be your entry ticket. Now some are wondering, man, why don't you give it away that often? It's because we need to hit 2,000 likes before we'll actually give it away, so make sure you smash that like button. Also guys, head over to my second channel called 5 Minute Crypto and go and press the like button and maybe watch this video too, as it has some cool info, and I want to try and make this channel a daily thing where I just give you guys some brief couple minute updates on all the most important crypto stuff of the day. And again, guys, you can see there's some cool stuff in here, and I try to go over as many possible things as I can while keeping it very short and keeping it very informative, so make sure you go ahead and check it out. Now, the first article of today comes from Fortune. Stimulus checks and extra unemployment benefits unlikely until September as Senate goes on recess. On Thursday, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell adjourned the chamber for recess until September 8th. That move comes as Democratic and Republican leaders remain deadlocked in their negotiations for a broad stimulus, which would include extended enhanced unemployment benefits and a second round of $1,200 stimulus checks. While McConnell said he'd bring senators back if a deal materializes, the move is the latest sign things aren't progressing. Last week, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer offered to come down from $3.4 trillion to $2.4 trillion if Republicans came up $1 trillion to $2 trillion. That way, we could begin to meet in the middle, he said. Republican rejected that offer, and hours later, Trump announced his executive orders and memorandums, and since then, the two parties have yet to negotiate again. The White House reached out to restart negotiations with Democratic leaders on Wednesday, but that was rejected, and on Thursday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi told reporters they won't resume negotiations with Republicans until they come up to at least $2 trillion in CV aid. Republicans still favored at $1 trillion price tag. Now guys, I've told you before about why I think that this right here is going to be what's going to change it all for us in terms of crypto. This right here, this is really the core of what may change it all. And the main reason for that is these stimulus checks are showing once more that, first of all, your money is not secure. Second of all, the government is and will always be split up, right? There will always be two parties arguing with each other. There will never be unity. Within the broader world, there will never be unity. At least that's what they're making it as. Inflation is not certain. It won't be the way that it's always going to be 2% on average. It's most likely going to get way higher at one point. Again, your currency, it doesn't really feel right in this sense. Your job is not really secure. That's another part that gets kind of clear from all the stimulus, because otherwise, why would people have needed it, right? If everything was going well. And I think you guys can relate it further a little bit, What's important about that is, first of all, we saw the U.S. that's working really, really hard to get stimulus checks going on right now. We saw that. That they're working really hard to get CBDCs across right now. We saw that. We also saw there's a cold war going on between the US and China because they're both trying to get this CBDC out running as soon as possible. We earlier today went over Boston and MIT and all of that, but we also earlier today went over another progressive part on China's behalf, which is just really, really insane and crazy to see because they're both trying so hard to become the number one. However, this is not the only part that's holding us back that's becoming scary, all right? Another part is the centrality that we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of entities kind of getting into a monopolic state where, for example, Tesla is at a point right now where it's really, really on top of the game with a lot of things. And also Apple is in the same type of sector. And I think we'll be seeing that more and more and more as a lot of these smaller companies can't handle crises like we've just seen now. All of these bigger companies will just take the cake and take control. Now, one of the things I see going on here, which really caught my eye, was the fact that Fortnite decided to sue Apple. Sue Apple? That's crazy, right? But it's because they take a 30% tax, and they're claiming that that's just illegal, in this case because they're creating a monopolic environment, and they're violating yada, 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 all illegal, yada, yada, yada. Long story short, it's like a 60-pager or something like that, And they sent this lawsuit out minutes after the app, Fortnite once more, got banned in the App Store, which in my opinion doesn't really matter, but I can understand if some people or some kid just deleted the app from his phone for like a day to get some free room. He wants to re-download it again, not available anymore. Yeah, that would not be nice. So they're trying to figure that out, but it shows once more that a lot of things can also be gone in the split of a second, like for example the YouTube channel here, which is why I recommend you guys also to go ahead and follow the second channel called 5 Minute Crypto. But also the fact that a lot of these companies here are trying to go for as much profit as they want to, even not thinking about morals, not thinking about anything. And together with all this money that's being spent, nothing is kind of certain. Companies are trying to get the most profit out of themselves, even though they might, really go over the normal ethical boundaries. And that's also with these trillions of dollars, it's really going over people's heads that have you really got to pay for it with their lives, most likely. Right? And with that, I mean, you might be sending out stimulus payments, but a lot of people will get way too little, and a lot of people will get way too much. And with that, a lot of people right now are just really going to become the payer, or however you would say that, are going to be the losers in this, because they hold dollars and they don't really have anything else, and eventually the dollars will become worthless because of situations like this. Another question: should salaries increase because everyone is working from home? Very difficult question because of this right here, right? Should salaries be increasing because they're also giving out stimulus checks? And I mean, a lot of people have lost their jobs, so should you not be happy to still have one? And on the contrary, a lot of companies are making losses, so should salaries really go up if they're not really doing that good? It's a big question. I don't really have a single answer to it all. I just know that it's a very, 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 very big debate that's going on right now, and there's really nothing much that we can decide upon here. But it's just, again, more fact that the system is kind of collapsing, and more so why XRP is going to be so important. I've explained to you guys before, I think negative interest rates is also something we're going to be looking into really soon here, as a lot of people, they're not going to spend as much money. We already saw it here, and thus maybe eventually negative interest rates will come because they want to, really get spending out a little bit further because the US dollar might become worthless and all of that. Just depends on how you want to count government spending in this case as well. Is this stimulus government spending, or is it just qualitative easing, not having to do with government spending because it's not really being spent on things like that? Or is it just consumer spending, the money that they get? And a little bit more theories can go around that. However, that aside, XRP is so important because the banks, they're going to need the fastest and easiest way to do everything, right? Which is through Ripple. We've seen that. Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO, has confirmed that. We all know it. But also another point for it all is that if these CBDCs were to really pull through, XRP would be the main, coin in the middle. Again, something we can't deny, we know it's facts. Another point here is even if the banking system fails, people are going to have to send money across some way, shape, or form, which might again be XRP. Another one is that I think right now they're trying to get people to kind of get used to digital currencies, partially because of CBDCs, but also partially to get a new standard going on, which is something we've been talking about in quite a lot of other videos, but not too much today. Ripple, new app enables XRP to be sent to billions of people. And also, it's just a matter of time before everybody in the world will have access to XRP. Right now, it's still a little bit difficult. You're still going to have to buy it some way, shape, or form, or get it through just really knowing somebody. But really soon in the future, it'll be almost impossible to not have access to XRP. Right, PayID is getting really, really big right now, which is also in this article. But also the fact that Ripple is just partnering with so many exchanges, platforms, and other things is going to get them everywhere, really in the blink of an eye. Especially when it's going to get on more of these Forex websites, as just a normal pair, not a completely different sector and category. So where you're going to be seeing it go crazy. Cardano staking pools have made history after mining first blocks on Shelly. Cardano has made history in the last 24 hours after higher stake staking pools, SPO, on Shelly Network mined blocks on Epoch 211. The first publicly mined block was done by Staking Whale 1% pool, which is currently running 28 SPOs on Shelly. IOHK has congratulated all the staking pools that managed to mine a block, with Cardano's creator Charles Hoskinson promising to fund some commemorative merch for these staking pools, which I found really, really interesting. Again, the rest is kind of history. It's just cool that they've been going through all of this. And if you're interested, I recommend reading this article, but I think most just wanted to know about the superficial stuff. Oh, then another one, guys, which actually has to do with VeChain more so. An electric revolution is cooking for American trucking. Now, whenever I read this, I think about Tesla. However, this article here is partially about Tesla because Nikola's 2 left and the 3 hydrogen electric semi-trucks, the company also hopes to create a global hydrogen fueling network. Now, even though it doesn't, really include Tesla at all, it's Nikola, which again, if you guys know it, Nikola and Tesla kind of in the same boat. And basically what it made me think about is that the way we see logistics right now, the way we see trucking, the way we see supply chain from that perspective is also going to be changing a lot. And a huge chunk of it is going to be because of VeChain, but also a huge chunk is going to be because of electric and self-driving trucks and all of that, making everything a lot cheaper, making everything most likely a lot faster, which is also going to be changing how we demand goods and how we're going to be using goods, and also maybe a lot for this type of stuff, right? Maybe a lot of retailers will lose their job. I mean, a lot of truckers might lose their job and all of that. And some stuff I've been thinking about. VeChain enters the second project phase with Chinese natural gas giant. The VeChain Foundation and the Chinese natural gas giant Shanghai Gas are starting the second phase of the project to build an energy-as-a-service ecosystem. In the second phase, the feasibility of the VeChain Thor integration will be analyzed and studies will be carried out to examine new financial opportunities in the energy industry. Again, that's what this article is about. Again, I'm being really, really bullish on VeChain all the time. Teddy calls it VeTrain coming through. And VeChain and Oxford University drive for blockchain adoption with cooperation. The VeChain Foundation and the University of Oxford have announced an expansion of their partnership under which both will jointly provide independent scientific advice. Both partners have developed an evaluation framework for blockchain consensus protocols to promote adoption by the industry. And once more, guys, I'm really excited what VeChain is going to be bringing. I've told you guys very often about what I think they're worth in terms of utility. And I see this as one of the top coins as well, and I would definitely not sell my VeChain for a very, very long while, as I think they're going to be golden and going to be one of the most important ones to come for most likely forever. But guys, that was it for this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Make sure you check out my second channel called 5 Minute Crypto and subscribe to it, and I'll definitely see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody, and have a very, very jolly, wally, golly, day.